Last week, Queensland's spectacular Gold Coast played host to the Australian PGA Championship, an event co-sanctioned with the European Tour. Royal Pines again provided the venue for one of the highlights of the Australian sporting summer, and once again, hometown favourite Adam Scott was back as one of the tournament's headline acts. He sat down with Golfing World to talk about 2017 and what it's like returning home to play tournament golf.
When people come down and see how wonderful, this part of the world is, they just want to come back. So I don't have to sell them too hard on it, but it is great to play at home. Friends and family, of course, and just the general golfing community that has supported me since I was a teenager growing up here. It's nice to be able to play in front of that kind of crowd.
It's understandable that Scott is always the fan favourite when playing on home soil, especially in Queensland. But there was another very popular player in the Australian PGA field who, like Adam, is now a proud owner of the green jacket awarded to the Masters champion.
I've tried to give Sergio and his wife and his team a bit of an itinerary for this week to take in a few of my favourite spots here on the Gold Coast. Sergio is one of those guys that everyone loves to watch play golf, whether he's playing good, bad or indifferent. You're going to know about it watching Sergio, and he's an incredible golfer. But having won the Masters this year, I think, obviously for him it's exciting, but just generally the golfing world found that exciting because we've so closely followed his journey.
Unlike Sergio, Scott went without a win this season. That's unusual for a player who's won 13 PGA Tour events and reached World No.1. But the arrival of a second child for Adam in August led to a significant change in routine.
To perform at the highest level, which I have done, you've got to put yourself in the environment to do that. And that was much, much tougher for me to do playing from here in Australia this year, commuting for most of the year back and forth. I found it hard to get going, whether I was a bit tired or I was sick a couple more times than normal or a bit underdone in the practice. Yeah, that's what happens.
2018 will hopefully see a more stable life for Adam and his family at their home in the Bahamas. And the name of the newest member of the Scott clan, one with plenty of golfing pedigree behind it.
I definitely like the connection and association with Byron Nelson. He was a real gentleman, and this name Byron seems very strong to me, so I liked that whole association there, and hopefully young Byron grows up to be of similar ilk as the great Byron Nelson.
Adam grew up in a golfing family. His father, Phil, is a PGA professional and was the one who introduced his son to the game at a young age. So there's a fair chance that Byron and his older sister, Bo, will both end up with a club in their hands at some stage.
Golf has done such wonderful things for me in my life, but especially as a kid it did. It wasn't that I was pushed into it, but it still had a really positive effect on me, even though I think the good things that come from golf were in my household already. So I still think it would do them some good, even if they don't want to play golf, to get out there and learn a few things, a bit of humility out on the golf course.
Despite ending the season with his lowest ranking since 2009, the current world number 31 is confident a return to form is coming in 2018. At the age of 37, Adam Scott is a firm believer that his best golf is still to come, even when up against the young guns currently dominating the world game.
I think there's one place to worry about the world rankings, and that's number one. That's the one that you want to be worrying about. And I've got a bit of a path ahead of me to get back to that point, but as we've seen from even before when I got to number one, but since, lots of different guys have been number one. It's very hard to stay up there, so that door's always ajar. So if I can get myself the first 6 months of next year back up, looking in that door, I definitely feel like I can get back to that level. I'm kind of in the prime of my career, so I really need to take advantage of that.